Hello, my friends. So, the dealio is for today, I'm working on a layout for Mini Kit Monday. It's going to be the week 3 layout. And I'm working through the RTS Scrapbooking 444 series. And the instructions are that we need 12 by 12 cardstock, so basically a background. That we need 2 1.5 by 12 papers of my, of the number 1 pattern, which is the flamingo pattern, which is right here. But I'm going to be electing to flip it over, which is kind of cool. You know, I'm the boss of this whole piece of paper here, and it's double-sided, so I'm going to elect to flip it over for this layout. I need, from the number 3 pattern, I need 7 by 12 inch paper, which is what we have here. And from the number 4 pattern, I need a 1/2 inch by 12 inch, which is this piece right here. It's kind of like a lace looking pattern, but you're really not going to get that from seeing this. And the photos that I'm going to use are, I'm not going to use that one, so I just wanted to go ahead and print it at the same time. I'm going to be using these photos right here. Oh, is it easier? My God, there's a lot of them. Okay, I'm going to be using these photos right here. There we go. On this layout, and these photos were all taken at my son and my daughter right here. They work at the same place, and they were taken at their summer fair. So I was going to document it all at once, and that's part of the reason why I chose not to go with the flamingos is, all right, so 12 by 12 layouts, I want to use lots and lots of photos on it, right? And I want it to be summary because it was their work fair, which is basically they have a giant carnival come in just for their work. But wasn't really working through the whole flamingo-y part of the summer vibe. So more floral and fun and where'd they go and that kind of thing is what my plan is. So the basic configuration that I think I'm going to be going with is I'm going to, I believe, have it kind of like this with this paper going across here. I'm gonna have a room for the title up there because I don't need to see a ton of this map background paper. The map isn't, you know, super important for this layout. It's one of the backgrounds I liked the colors of and all that kind of stuff. But seriously, they were 15 minutes from my house. Not that big of a deal. So, anywho, I'm going to go ahead and trim these papers, attach the papers basically in this kind of a setup like I showed you, and I'll voice over the next bits when I start figuring out where I'm going to go from there. All right, here we go. So I went ahead and trimmed my photos so you didn't have to sit through that. And I attached my pattern papers down in a band design. And I decided on the left side to pretty much have the photos of my daughter and her boyfriend. And on the right side is my son and his girlfriend. No particular reason why, I just happen to have a lot more photos of this particular kind of scene, event, I guess, of my son, because his girlfriend was ever so kind as to take a bazillion pictures for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get my title set up, and I believe it's just United Shore Fair. Let me retract that. I made it United Shore Summer Fair. So I did take a look-see, and I went ahead and found this yellow piece of paper here that was in my pattern paper pad for the My Mind's Eye collection, and I wanted to map my photos with white, and I liked the paper but didn't like the paper. So I went ahead and matted all of the photos with white, and then there's 2 little scraps of it left over that I flipped over and decided not to waste them and used them as well, and I ended up loving it. I wasn't planning on using yellow at all, but I did end up kind of liking the addition of it, so there you go. So I have my title on, and I'm just going ahead and looking at these older crepe paper chipboard pieces, and I found the word hot on there. I'm just trying to find anything that might kind of go along with the fair, and I found a cute little milkshake that goes along with the deal. The deal is at their work, they have a fair in the summertime, and it's for everybody in the company. It's very large. And this year it was on site. They brought in a giant carnival, and the people that attend the fair get to eat as much as you want, not alcohol or anything included, drink as much as you want, play as many games as you want, all that kind of stuff. So my son and his girlfriend won this lovely alien and all these cute little toys, like the dart games and all that kind of stuff. And my son, who eats extremely healthy, had all kinds of fried snacky foods and all that kind of stuff. I think my daughter said that she waited in line for a half hour for, gosh, what did she get? And she was so excited for it. I don't know. They had some great food trucks come in too, that were restaurants that happen to have food trucks as well. So those little epoxy pieces you see me using there are from a hand-me-down sticker sheet from somebody that is no longer scrapbooking. So she gave me a ton of supplies this past Christmas. There's a video for that. It's very long because I received so much stuff from her. So it is fun though, because the epoxy pieces are giving me that little shiny dimensional kind of thing that is the reason I like using epoxy. I like flatter epoxy that has lots of shine. So you saw I had to go ahead and use a little tape runner to attach one of those bands that I hadn't quite gotten down that hard or that far. Now these are these puffy pieces that I have from a really old Gossamer Blue kit, and I've been pegging along bit by bit trying to use them up. Now at the end of this month, I'm not going to have a tremendous amount left of them. I have like maybe a black umbrella, and I think the word do-over is what I ended up with it. And I'm telling you, I will get those used up. It's like this weird little mission thing I have going. So as you see, the meat of my layout is all taken care of. I'm just trying to see what I want to add. And I do like these little fishtail banners that were part of this die cut kit. And I'll end up using 2 as well, I believe, on the left side of the page. But I did start the kit with 2 packs of these, little die cuts, and I am down to 1 pack. So I'm auditioning all these little bits in all these different directions, and I really think I end up using that yellow hexagon that's below my son and his girlfriend with the little alien, and then I use 2 of the little fishtail banners going side, kind of butting up against each other with that little hexagon in the middle of them, which then makes it so that I don't end up having to use any twine in the little banner pieces. There's a little hole if you wanted to make them into a tag. So that's what I end up doing there. And then the rest is a lot of the fun decorating. That's always my favorite part, is when you just get to put all those sprinkles on your page. So there's the other little banner that I talked about. So included in this kit are these Love and Lemon brads, and they are a gorgeous tone. They're nice and bright and cheerful, so you'll see me go ahead and punch the little holes and get some brads sprinkled around. I think I forgot to put washi tape on the back. I have to go back and do that. But I think the brads add a lot to this layout. It's another dimension. You get the metal as well as the shiny epoxy again, but it's at a different height and a different feel from the other epoxy that's on the page. So we're just adding to it and making it so that we have more little things to hunt around and look at on the page. I always like adding all kinds of little elements, especially if they're in my handy dandy kit right next to me. So I have these illustrated Faith white and black hexagons, and I'm able to put a few of those on this layout as well. And very cool, but somehow it seems that Illustrated Faith figured out how to get adhesive on their sticky things, so I didn't have to add anything extra to keep them down on my page. And they also add a different shape element on the page, which always makes me happy. I have these very hard blocky edges, some circular elements, and now I have the hexagons. So I like the different feel that I'm getting here and there along my page. So it's time for me to grab my handy dandy enamel dots, which I seem to finish 99% of my pages with. These enamel dots that I'm using right here have these little metallic bits in them, and I really do like them. I got them from AliExpress a couple of years ago, but I think they were like $1 a sheet, and I had free shipping. So it took me 3 or 4 weeks to get them, but it ended up being really worth it. So in the event that you're hesitant about ordering from AliExpress for your enamel bits, I really like the quality, like the stickiness, liked everything about them. And I also liked that I have matte as well as metallic ones. They're not just, the very typical enamel dots that we find in collections. So it was a bit of a win. I liked them. So I did decide I wanted something with a little bit more of a black or a dark edge on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and run this really skinny washi tape across the bottom between the floral and the coral piece on the bottom. I just needed a little bit more depth. On the top I had some good black, but not as much bringing your eye down. So I run it around and tuck the edges under the back of my layouts on both sides. But that's going to be it for these layouts for the most part. So down below are links to the other fab ladies that are part of Mini Kit Monday. So go ahead and click on their links. There's going to be some great inspiration there. And if you could go ahead and like and subscribe and all that stuff on my channel, I would so appreciate it. And if you have any questions, ask below. I will get back to you. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Bye-bye, friends.